Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Unleash Her. I'm Roberta Campbell, and I am your host for today's podcast. This podcast, what we do is we help empower women to heal from within while finding your authenticity and creating extraordinary lives. Because, who wants to be ordinary? And today,
Absolutely.
right? Today, I have a very special guest that I met in New York
Ah,
City last year.
yeah.
Yes, I'm so excited to introduce to you my friend, Laurie G. Curtis. Hi, Laurie.
Hi, Roberta. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you doing?
I am doing well, enjoying the weather here today. It's
Ooh,
gorgeous.
we have nice weather too. Love it.
I guess spring is officially here, huh?
Thank God. Yes. Yes. Well, thank you for coming on today. So when I met you in New York City, I was so impressed. And you have
You're such a
this
sweetheart.
confidence about you and just this authority. And I was like, gosh, okay, we have got to know more about her. And this is your opportunity. I want people to know because this podcast is all about confidence, self love, and where you got to where you are today. So if you could just give us a little journey about
Mhm.
your story, I would love that.
Sure. And yes, it was a pleasure meeting you in New York as well. Your story that you shared at the time just touched me as well. I think you are amazing and what you do for your family. I think it's absolutely amazing. And that's what it's all about. It's really about supporting each other. So I would say my foundation, if I could go back, really started with my mom, and we would go to church every Sunday, and she was singing in the choir, and she would sit us in the pew. I'm the youngest of four, and
Same.
yes, I'm the baby of the family.
Yes, yes.
So it's really my foundation started, and I so believe this as I continue to share my story, why this makes sense. And it's interesting. I was doing an exercise kind of talking about, okay, who were you when you were 10? Who were you in high school? Who were you in college? And it's interesting just looking at it all, kind of aligned with, oh, that's why I'm here today in this space and doing what I'm doing. It was just phenomenal. So really my foundation of confidence started in the church, and just my faith and understanding that life is going to happen and occur. And I have that thing, I have my faith to stand on to allow for me to continue to move forward. Fast forward
Oh,
from when I was a younging into high school, I think the one thing that really stuck out for me is I made a decision early in high school that I wanted to go to college, and two, I wasn't sure how I was going to get there. So, and again, this all makes sense. I had to figure out a way. I'm definitely one that's going to problem solve and try to
yeah.
figure out a solution for what's to come. But someone spoke into me in middle school and said, hey, you need to play basketball. You need to go out there and play basketball. And for those that don't know and can't tell, I'm actually 6'2". And that in and
Wow.
of itself is a surprise to some, but you have to leverage what you've been given, and I
Yes.
absolutely 100% did
Oh,
that. Sports has been my thing. I did track earlier on when I was middle school. High school, I did volleyball, basketball, and track, but I made a decision after only playing 1 year of basketball that I was going to get a college scholarship. I just love youth and how you just have the audacity to dream and to believe that you're going to become and can do and conquer any and everything. So I just believed it for myself, and as a result of that, I did the work. You still have to do the work,
Yes.
and I got a scholarship, and I went to college, and that really started me with the understanding that I have control. Certainly there are different things that are going on in life that you don't that aren't within your control, but deep down that is the thing that I was confident in myself that that was something that I could do. And with my faith understanding, I'm created for so much more than just what I'm doing. And I also believe that to whom much is given, much is required, and we're supposed to go out and support and help people. But after college, great stint at the University of Richmond, go Spiders. I
Yeah.
went on, had a family, life started happening, and then Laurie sort of went away.
Oh,
Laurie got caught up with being a
a
wife,
mom.
being a
Yeah, and a
mom,
mom. Yeah.
um, sister, aunt, and
Yeah.
all of that, and working, that you so I lost sight of where I was going to go and what I wanted to do. And then I had an issue with my daughter. She presented with a seizure, and after all of the tests and a couple of years, we determined that she was on the autism spectrum. So that's a completely different, you're thinking life is going to be a certain way,
Mhm. Right.
and it doesn't turn out like you would like it. So I had to shift. I have to
Yeah.
shift my mindset. But
Yeah.
keep in mind, all of these things that are going on are really setting me up for where I am right now. And
Mhm.
it's your power to choose how you respond to whatever life is going to throw at you. And if you're confident in yourself and in knowing that everything's going to work out for your good, you don't know how it's going to turn out, what it's going to look like, but you know that you're going to be okay. And that's just continue to live. And I think it
Yeah.
was, yeah, I think it was after continuing on, fast forward to 2000, about 2006, my husband was killed in the robbery attempt.
Oh
All of
my
the
God.
dreams, everything that I thought was going to be, all turned to my kids. I needed to make sure my kids were okay. That goes back to, how do I figure this out? I need to figure out how we're going to move past this or move forward day by day.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And I
Yeah.
focused, you know, 10 years really raising my kids and making sure that my son graduated from high school, and then he got into college. And then it was towards his junior year of college, I'm like, okay, Laurie, what's now? What's
Yeah.
next? What do you need to do? What are you being called to do? How can I support others? And people would ask me all the time, Laurie, how are you doing it? How were you able to, manage your daughter with her special needs, and then manage your son, and of course making sure that they are okay after the death of their father? How did you do it? And that was just the foundational principles that I continue to stand on: problem solving,
Yeah.
just finding solutions to my problem, leading my family through it. And what I came to the conclusion was, all of this was a result of my involvement in sports, and all of the skills and strategies that I learned on the court are things that I use to this day. And in my leadership role, in my business, all of those things are things that really have led me to this day. So it was always within me. Isn't that interesting?
That's
It's
so beautiful.
within you.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
thing, that
Yeah.
confidence, that whatever that is that you're trying to accomplish is within you. It's just a matter of when you start using it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's so beautiful. As you see, I'm just like, ah. Okay, but let's talk about something for a minute.
Yeah.
So people could be like, okay, she makes that sound so easy. Oh, she just has her faith and she has all of this and that. But there are times, and what people don't understand, you can't just keep going full
No.
force all the time. You have to take that time to heal and you have to take
Yes.
time for yourself and time to feel,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
But you don't
Absolutely.
stay there. We deal with these
Mm,
things, okay, right? How long do you stay there? I mean, how long do we stumble, we fall, we get knocked
yes.
down, we get pushed,
Yes.
whatever. But I think the one of the biggest things is when you have that foundation of faith,
Mm.
you get right back up.
Yeah, I look at it literally as tomorrow is a new day.
Yes.
So if something were to happen, a couple of weeks ago, my daughter, she's generally controlled with her seizures, with her medication. But every once in a while, as she grows, she's not feeling well, she may have a breakthrough seizure. So she's had two
Yeah.
this year already, which is unusual for her. So when things happen, you have to feel it. You
Yeah.
can't ignore
Yes.
it. But the way
Yes.
I look at it is I give myself that moment. So it could be, you know what? Life is telling me right now
Yeah.
that I just need to stop.
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing. I think that when you're going through something, you feel like you've got to keep going, 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 going. Sometimes you have to stop to ground yourself, to feel
Amen.
it, to then
Yep.
figure it out.
Yeah.
But like you
Yeah.
said, you get up and you figure out the solution.
Yeah.
And whatever time frame that is, and the goal is always to have that time frame to be smaller. Maybe
Right.
when you were younger, it was like, oh my gosh, it's the whole week. I am thrown off completely,
Yes.
down to three
Yeah.
days, down to 2 days,
Yeah.
down to a day, down to an evening.
Yeah.
So I look at it as tomorrow's going to be a new day. I don't have the mental capacity right now because I'm all in my feelings and I'm frustrated. So I'm going to just not do anything. And for me, that could be, let me go for a walk.
Yeah.
Doing things physically is something that works best for me to de-stress me. So I encourage folks and my clients to find that thing that's going to allow for you. It could be drawing, it could be reading, it could be writing, whatever that thing is, knowing that you've got to get up. So take that time right now, and then knowing that you're going to find this solution, because there is a solution to whatever the situation is that you're dealing with.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. I love that because just staying in bed all
Mm-hmm.
day doesn't help. Sometimes I say, "Oh, allow myself to get up slowly today because I need that."
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take a
Yeah.
little more time and just journal or read for my devotional or whatever it may be. And then I'm like, okay, all right, we're good.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I mean, you really do need to give yourself that time, give yourself that grace, and knowing that
yeah,
it's okay, that you're dealing with a lot, and whatever that lot is, whatever that is you're dealing with it, and you've got to give yourself some grace and knowing that it's okay, and allow yourself to have the moment, but don't
yeah.
forget to get up.
Yeah, right. And we all have those times we need to mourn and we need to feel the
Mhm.
feelings and to let that go. We can't, suppressing your emotions is like one of the worst things you can do. And so, whatever that looks like for you, but I think physical movement is so important. And for me, taking a
Yes.
walk down to the river is like,
Oh,
that
that's
is
even better.
the
Not only
best.
you're walking, you're looking at the water.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
know.
my
I
happy place.
have to. It is. It is. Yeah. So what else? Like what are you doing now? What's your goals? Like what's your like does it keep changing as you evolve? I mean,
I
I
always
see.
come from a space of wanting, what can I do? I do a lot centered around leadership. And
Yeah.
I think that,
Yeah. Which you're amazing
unfortunately,
at.
we, we see some of the
Yeah.
leaders that are out here today. For me, leadership is serving. I am here to serve you, to allow for you to become the
Yeah.
best version of yourself, to elevate to the next level, whatever that is I am there to support you in doing that. And I think part of leadership is that you also cannot pour in. You're on the plane and they're saying, the flight attendants are saying, if
Yeah.
something happens and the air masks come
Yep.
down, put your mask on first. If you're traveling with someone, you've got to do that. As a
Yeah.
leader, it's important that you understand that you have an impact on others. That, as a mom, I'm the leader of my home. And as a mom, if I am off, my kids will be off. So it's the same thing that when you're in the workspace is working with people and letting them understand they're there to serve others. They're not there. Certainly you're there to get the job done. Work has to be done,
Right.
and you're still having to have difficult conversations, but I'm in a space and a place where I'm about serving others and mentoring others, and particularly working with newer leaders, people who are emerging, coming into the space, and what does it look like to be a leader? And what are you things that you need to do? It's about building relationships, and how do you do that with people? It's how do you make that connection? Because when you can make that connection, you can get so many things accomplished with that. But more importantly, it's about reassuring and lifting others up is how I see leadership. So that's the space that I am right now and am passionate about. Because I think that we're leading in so many different areas of our life. It's all the same, and it's similar skills that you can use. And when you can serve others, coming from that space, you're empowering, you're giving people confidence in knowing in their ability, and knowing that they are can do whatever they set their minds to.
Oh my gosh, that's so, so good. And for a long time, I thought, oh, this like self-love, it's so I wasn't vibing with that. I'm
Sure.
like, oh,
Yeah.
you're so whatever. And that's like, oh, I get it now. Because I am in such a better place to help others now that
Hmm.
I spent the time on myself first. And I guess you've had also, I'm going to guess, some mentors in your life that helped you. And so I guess that's where you're like, that's what I want to do. Is that how, because that's how I felt.
I think that a combination of that also just from,
Okay.
I think when
Ah,
I'm transparent. You talked about being authentic. I
yeah.
try to show up
Yeah.
fully and completely as Laurie. I'm not, I am not afraid to tell people that I am of faith and that I am a believer. I'm not afraid to let people know I've had some struggles and this is what I've done. So people have looked at me and have asked me, like I said earlier, how are you getting through it? How are you dealing with it? And I'm like, you know what? I think part of the problem is we're not sharing. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you don't look like what you've been through. And but I've been through a lot, so let me share with you what I've been through. One, to help you avoid making the same mistakes that I made, but also encouraging you to let you know I've been through this and I'm
Yeah.
here, and you can get here and be okay. So that's what I enjoy doing and sharing with people and allowing them to see that we're no different. We're all dealing with the same things and maybe different versions of it, but we're all dealing with the same things. But I think if
Yeah.
we can share freely and honestly, I think part of social media has shown allow people to only see the good things,
Right.
and people are struggling.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
that might look
Yeah.
good, but let me tell you, I couldn't do that 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But let me tell you how I'm able to do it now.
I just want to tell you guys, when we were at this women's conference in New York City, okay, our days were probably like
Oh
12-hour
my God.
days. She's like, yeah, maybe more. They were, we had really long days.
Yeah.
And, people would come and go, come and go. But this woman right here, I don't think you ever left the room. Maybe to go to the restroom or something, but you were there. You stepped up and I don't know. I was just like very impressed. So you were so supportive to
Yeah.
everyone.
Absolutely. I think that's, I've gotten so much support over the years. It's the same thing. It's about letting you know that I'm here. I see you. I want you be successful. I want you to know that I'm hearing you and that I'm there for you. It's sort of that team concept going back to my days on the court. It's really about working together and allowing and lifting people up when they're during times of struggle. And it's about serving again. It's not about me. And I can tell you so many things that I've accomplished, but it's truly not about me. It's about I'm happy to share in a way that allows people to share as an example of what they can accomplish. If I lead
Yeah.
with, yeah, I've been inducted in the Hall of Fame at the University of Richmond twice
Yes,
as a player and a coach.
thank you for sharing that. Congratulations. You're freaking
And
amazing.
yeah, and I joke and kid around and say I'm a legend, but I was
Yes, you
inducted
are.
in the Atlantic 10 Conference Legends class of 2015.
Oh,
But that's great and that's wonderful, and I am so blessed. Look, I got my college paid for. I didn't come
yes.
out of college. I got not only a bachelor's
Yeah.
degree but a master's degree, all paid
Amazing.
for, and I'm 100% grateful for that. That's why I'm all about
Hmm.
leverage what you have, use what
Yeah.
you have. There is some uh understanding. I think I shared earlier how I went through an exercise. Someone took me through an exercise. Who were you at 10 in
Yeah.
high school and college? I am that person. When I was 10, I was about problem solving, and that's probably why was a math major in college. I'm about finding solutions. I'm about supporting people. I'm about building the foundation of understanding the importance of having a foundation. And when you have a foundation, there's so much that you can build upon. There's so many directions that you can go when you have that.
Okay, so a couple of things. So first of all, that is something that you had within you, and we all have
Yes.
something within us, a God-given talent, whatever that may be, that I think we're just not utilizing.
No, I think we come out and we go to school. I came out at a time where it was go to college, come once you're done, have a family, get married, and have kids. And I think that's sort of you're
Yeah.
living for what you think society or your family or your friends think you should do. And I think that you really need to take a look and see what makes you happy and what's important to you. And I feel like you always come full circle.
Yeah. I love that
You
full
just come back
circle.
to
Yeah.
it and come to the realization like, oh my gosh, yes, this is what I've been doing. And that's why personal development is so
Mhm.
important.
Yeah. Yeah.
It allows for you to really look inward
Yeah.
to see who you are. And then
Yeah.
from there, you can figure out kind of what the next move is.
Well, you've always kind of had with being in sports and everything, you've had the coaches and the leaders
Mhm.
and all of that. I don't know that I had that as much. And it sounds like you had a really good upbringing. And with having older siblings too, you had a lot of competition, I'm gonna guess. I don't
had
know.
had competitions, but you know what? I was always self-motivated.
Oh,
I didn't look externally for my motivation.
yeah.
It was really came from within, and I think that's where that confidence.
Okay.
And I would say that by nature,
Yeah.
I'm a homebody and an introvert, so I always look inward. For that's where my strength comes from.
You guys, it's so funny when you hear someone like Lori that says, I'm an introvert and she can take over this
I
like
know, right?
stage. Okay. So I am too. I would say I used to say I'm an introvert. I try not to label myself, but I'm
Exactly.
definitely
Yeah.
one that stands back at first, but I'm starting to get a little more like out there. And it's like, who am I? I think I had,
Yeah, that's so funny.
yeah, because
I,
we have this inside ourselves. Not that we all need to be like out there in everyone's face, but I'm saying when it's your time, you stand up and you,
exactly. That's the thing. When it's something that you are passionate about, you will abs 100% be that extrovert
yeah,
and we're both passionate about what we're doing.
right.
And as a result of that, but then there are times where I just need to go back into my little shell
Yeah,
and
I know. I'm
kind of
like, yeah,
recharge, and that's what
yes,
I need to do,
yes,
recharge, and then I can come back out
yes.
and start again.
But
Yeah.
you know, what happened, what's interesting is that we took these incidences in our
Mhm.
lives that people contrast people would consider some really bad things that happened to us.
Yeah.
But we took those and not only did we just make the best of it, but we took it and we made more of that. And we took that as something that we're like, okay, now I think I really do see, I myself can say I see a more clear
Yeah.
vision for the future because of this. And it just keeps getting clearer and clearer and clearer.
Right.
Isn't that how, I mean, people would be like, how did
Yeah,
you
I
go through
think
all that? And how did you come out of that? And, uh,
no,
I see
to me,
this.
it's not an option. It was not a choice.
Yeah.
When I look at certain things that have gone on, it wasn't even a choice, but I also knew myself and knew and was again going back to building the confidence. That's what I think sports is. It's the one sports, arts, whatever that thing is that's going to
Yeah.
allow for our
Yeah.
young folks to really build their confidence in who they are, because that again, that's the foundational piece. In basketball we talk about building your foundations, your fundamentals, and part of that, in order to do a layup, in order to do a jump shot, there's a certain way that you need to do it, and you need to build those fundamentals. And when you build those things, that then is going to allow you and support you on the next level. And in order for you to then be able to stand in the space at the next level, you're going to need to continue to build your fundamentals there.
Is that what? Okay, so there is a sign hanging up behind you
Yeah.
that says on the court solutions.
Yeah.
So that's you. Is that your brand, right? For
That is
those that can't.
that's my company, and
Yeah.
on the court solutions we focus on leadership development, particularly working with newer leaders as well as leaders who have been working and have now been transitioned into a leadership. Existing folks who have been working are now transitioning into a leadership role, and then student athlete development. And for me, development is key, solutions is keys. Let's figure this out. Where do you
Yeah.
want to go? And let's talk about how you need to get there. But development means building those foundational principles that's going to allow for you to work in the space that you're currently in and then take you to the next level. So I'm all about developing yourself. And it really needs to start with
Yes.
you. As I said,
Yeah.
as a leader, you're a servant leader, and you can't pour into others if you don't pour into yourself first.
Oh gosh, that is so true.
Yeah.
That is gold right there, I'm telling you. And that's what's changed my life is having the mentors that helped guide me in that direction. And so gosh, that's so beautiful. And um so
And if I could add there
please.
about getting mentors and
Yeah.
coaches, it's about understanding that you can't do it alone. As a basketball player, I couldn't do what I did without my coaches, without my trainers, without, academics when I was in college,
Yeah.
my parents.
Yeah.
We can't do this thing called life without the support of others. And you need to reach out to you don't need to reach out to everybody. You need to reach out
Right.
to some key people that's going to allow for you, who's done it, and that's going to allow for you to get to the next place.
Yeah, that's so good. Where can, if people want to find you, how can they find you on social media or what do you have?
So I can be reached on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and I can be reached at Laurie Governor, as in the governor of the state, Curtis. So Laurie Governor Curtis on all
LA.
three of the
Yes.
Laurie Curtis, Curtis.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, I don't know. Anything else you want to add? We
I always leave people with a couple of things. I talked about development, and what I, in developing yourself personally and professionally, um, I think what I like to say is the fundamentals is what keeps you in the game. So when you're developing yourself, you're building your skills, you're building your talents, that's going to keep you relevant and keep you in the game of life and business or whatever you want to do. The other thing that I would say to people is you have more power than you think. You have the power to
Yeah.
choose how you respond to whatever situation you face. So if it's a difficult situation, it's a difficult choice that you're going to need to make. You're going to need to either choose to stay in the bed, stay down, or you're going to
Mhm.
choose to get up. And I pray, my prayer for you all is that you choose to get up, you choose hope, you choose love, you choose support of others, you choose yourself.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. I love that. Oh, this has been so good. Thank you so much for sharing your story. You're amazing, and I'm so glad that I was able to meet you.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
you have been such an inspiration to me, and I'm sure many, many others. I'm so proud of you. I want you to know that. And, everyone, I just want to say thank you for joining today. And I hope you feel empowered. I'm sure you have to after this. This has been so beautiful. And if you want to, learn how to live an extraordinary life, through my mentorship, reach out. I would love to talk. And Lori as well gave you her information. It's been so beautiful today. We want to thank you for joining us. And I want to leave to end my podcast with something that my grandma always said, and she would never say goodbye. And
Hmm.
I remember this. And so she would always leave it with see you later or so long. And so that is how what I'm going to do instead of saying goodbye, because it's never goodbye. It's always so long.
So long.
Until next time.